think one of the biggest challenges of living an alternative lifestyle, living off-grid with no public utilities, is water. And that's the one thing we can't live without. We're going to talk to you guys today about one of the challenges that we found with water here on our off-grid homestead. Now, of course, every property is going to be different. Some people have wells on their property, and if they're living off-grid, they're probably powering that well with a solar-powered setup. Now, we don't have a well on our property, and wells in our area cost between about $18,000 to $25,000, plus you have to register them with the state. And we didn't want to go that route, so we decided after some investigation that with an average rainfall of about 42 inches a year, that my wife and I could easily survive off of rainwater alone. So we set up a 3,000 gallon rainwater collection system, and it gravity feeds from our large barn through the ground to our 2 lawn hydrants. I'll show you one of those in a second, and then ultimately here to our sink in our log cabin. And now this system is great, but as you can see, I had to make my own faucet. But one of our main challenges was the garden area. We have a 500 gallon rain collection tank on our greenhouse, and Stacy was having some issues with the garden hose out there. So we're gonna go out there right now. She's gonna tell you what those issues were, and I'm gonna show you guys how we fixed it with our most expensive garden hose ever.
Hey guys, Doug was just telling you about our water in the house. Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the water situation that I have out here in the garden. In our garden, we have a 500 gallon tank in which we collect rainwater from our greenhouse. And that water I use for the whole garden. We use a simple ball valve to turn it on and off. So this is our last hose that we use. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the water off so I can save the water, but I wanna go ahead and tell you the story of my struggles with the hose. As you can see, I'm pretty far away from the tank, and the farther I get away, the less pressure I have. Hold on, let me turn on the water. I'll show you what I mean. Now, as you can see, it looks like the water's coming out okay. If I did this on my garden, this would take forever. It splashes around, especially if I have my seeds. It's not very efficient. I'm using a lot more water. And I always wanted one of those wands. So I had tried the wand on one of these, the kind that have like a shower head that simulates actual rainfall. And I did not have any pressure at all with that wand. So I had to go back to this, and it would just take me forever to water my garden. Another reason I really like that watering wand is because I can control the water and turn it off and on. When I have this, I have to hold it. If I have to put it down, if I have an emergency with an animal or something, I need to run into the house and check if I'm cooking. I can't just drop it. I have to run over there, turn it off. So here we're trying to conserve as much water as we can, so the wand is the thing for me. But we just found the answer, and I'm excited. So Doug and I knew our requirements that we needed when we're getting a hose. We needed one that was rubber, that it could withstand all the elements, and we also needed one that had the widest diameter that we could get the most water pressure out of it. And how many of you guys always have to figure out which way to turn your nozzle? Remember, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So how many people have trouble with that? Leave a comment below, because I do. For you guys, this might not be a big deal, but us living off grid, this is a huge upgrade to our watering. I think I have a kink in the hose. This is good, isn't it? There you go. There we go. Now here's the upgrade. Isn't that awesome? And then I can stop it if I don't want it to be on. And I can just water whatever I want. See? My lemon squash. I mean cucumbers.
Well, hopefully you guys were informed by this video. You got a little knowledge on diameter. So the larger diameter of the pipe or the hose, the more water will flow through it. The water follows the path of least resistance. So for us, because we don't have any power, no pressure, and no pumps, we actually just have to go to the biggest thing we can manipulate, which is the diameter of the hose.
And so this was an inch.
Yeah.
And it comes out, I guess, double the amount of pressure of like a regular 5/8 or a 3/4 inch hose.
Yeah, and the thing is like, you know, we try to tell you guys to buy local, right? Well, sometimes you just can't. We went to several of our hardware stores in our area, and the only place we could find a large diameter hose was online. Actually, this actually came from Home Depot, and we had to order it through them, but you could probably get it on Amazon. If I find it, I'll put the link down below if you're interested in the hose. It's no big deal, but we just wanted to show you guys, you know, this is like one of the wins. Like, we have these struggles, and we try to share with you guys a lot of stuff, and this is kind of minor, but at the same time,
me, no, it's not, because it saves me a lot of time, because especially when you're planting your seeds and you're growing and you know it's crucial, or when you're having a drought and not getting enough rain.
Believe me, I've heard about this hose problem ever since we put up that tank. And actually we were using hoses on the hydrant that's hooked up to our main water system, but I didn't want to keep using that because I want to make sure we have enough for our house, so that we use that as a temporary or an emergency situation. And now that we have this rainwater catchment back here, this is what we're using exclusively for the whole garden area. So the name of the game was getting a large diameter hose, and that was mission accomplished.
Yeah, and then the other thing I like about it, it is, you know, weather resistant. I mean, it can be in the sun, it can be in the heat, and I don't have to worry about it. And this is going to last as many, it's like an investment at many, many years.
And
so.
oddly enough, it's a 1-inch diameter hose. It's actually lighter than the hoses that we've had with 5/8 or 3/4 inch.
Right.
Because they have vinyl and then maybe some wire mesh in there. So actually those hoses were actually heavier than this hose. She uses it more than I do, and she's already commented several times that it's a lot lighter.
And it's pretty.
So hopefully you guys liked our little water our water troubles in the garden, but we worked through it, and we're just sharing these little wins with you guys. If you got any questions about what happened in this video, make sure you leave a comment down below.
Yes, and let us know if you have that issue about Roddy Toddy Lefty Lucy, if you have to say that before you do it when you're unscrewing things, because I always have to think about it before I do it.
That's right. All right, so we're gonna wind this back up, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
See you guys. Ah!